Well, good evening. Oh, hello. If you are just joining us, well, it is the perfect time to join and watch at the craft store, because we have got one of those shows that whether you are an artist, whether you're a crafter, whether you're a beginner, whether you're an experienced, art connoisseur, this is a show for you. We are talking not only about Faber Castell, but we are talking about artist quality Faber Castell, the top of the range, the watercolor, all about having the most amazing pigments, the most amazing pencils and markers for you to enjoy color and techniques. Now, talking about techniques, we have got to have, of course, an incredible demonstrator that knows all about color, all about techniques, and all about quality, which, of course, we have got Lou with us here with us. Now, Lou, how are you, first of all?
I am brilliant, and
I'm very excited.
I've got new steam. New batteries. This is amazing.
Well, you know, it's funny because when I saw there was Faber Castell, obviously it's a brand that we know and love, and many of you may have different items, like, for instance, the polychromas. But when it comes to watercolor pencils, Alverdure, range from Faber Castell is the top of the range, isn't it?
Yeah. He is. Just please look him up, because it's important when you hear these names that you sort of get an idea of who we're talking about. So to have that name with this brand,
absolutely,
wow. Yeah. And he is, like, you might as well say Leonardo da Vinci, or he's one of those top.
And I love the fact that Faber Castell, you can see in the teens since 1761, incredible heritage, but also the artist Alverdure, the German Renaissance painter and watercolor artist as well.
Absolutely, and watercolor was quite overlooked during this time, simply because it was mainly oil. So when people watercolored, it was a sketch. It was like, oh yeah, we'll do an understudy or an underpainting. And more often than not, not so much now, but when you x-ray older pictures, you will see the sketches and how they've laid them on top. And they would have been down watercolor and then oil on top. So this is like, we made it really easy for us.
It is, and we are, of course, Faber Castell. Well, if you don't know, it's this company made in Germany. The pencils are made in Germany. Yeah. And then look at the color. Now, the one-day special is 24 of those watercolor pencils. And of course, Lou over this hour, and of course, the one-day special hours are gonna explain exactly what they are. But you are getting 24 in the one-day special with a £15 saving. And also you have got a flexi vibe. We will go through all the amazing nature, the light fastness, the fact that you have got a thicker lead in there. You were also talking about, Lou, about the binder that they have got inside, so it makes it less breakable, the lead?
Yep, this colour pigment inside is a 3.8, and it's got a bonding agent called SV. And that's the special sort of process it goes through to stop the breakages. Now, you will get breakages in anything. However, they've tried to eliminate as much as possible. And that's when you get a good pencil, that's one of the issues in it. But this is amazing. And they sell them individually.
And one of the things I love, you can see the pencil here, sorry to hit off sharp, but you can see the wider lead in there. But also the fact that you have got the name of the color, the light fastness ratio as well. And of course, you have got that kind of element. If you turn it here, you know that even if you lost it, you know that it's the watercolor.
Absolutely.
And of course, that Faber Castell that made in Germany. Also, little things make me happy. The fact that it's not exposed lead in there, or how you call it, the
pigment.
Pigment. So therefore, if it also helps it to maintain it in one piece,
it does,
right?
It stops moisture getting in and splitting the wood and all that. And you also, just to say, there's an expensive pencil. Well, they're actually, you can buy them separate.
Absolutely.
And these retail at £2.95 per pencil. You go and have a look. Yeah. And if you was to have that's 100 and something pounds.
Yeah. Right, if you want to go for the 24, 375, 256. Now, if you are like me and you want to have a bigger tin, because just more colors, we have got the 3610 as well. Now that, let me grab it. Look at that. Now, this one has a £28 saving and also flexi-buy option. Now, this means that we get 12 different colors, including, of course, we are getting pinks, more greens, more blues, I mean, it's fabulous.
These are we're getting more secondary colours.
Yes.
And tertiary colours, the third set. So it's cutting down all the labour-intense sort of colour mixing, but the same day, the same thing. It just looks beautiful.
It does. It's a full rainbow of colour. Now, if you look at it also, and I can say how vindicated I am that how they displayed, starting on yellow and then goes all the way. So please make sure to check out your baskets. If you want the set of 36, I'm definitely, like, as soon as I saw it, that's the one I want.
Yep.
£28 savings, and you're only paying £49.99. And of course, that means that you also have got FlexiBuy, so you could be paying £25 today. And if you're a Freedom member, that is your delivery cost. This is the 36, the 24 is the other one. This is the 36, 970-127. And remember, this we are talking about Albert Dürer watercolor pencils by Faber Castell. Ooh. Right. If you want yours, do check out your baskets. Now, something I hadn't seen before is, of course, the Faber Castell water-based markers in here. And we asked Lou about them, and she got really kind of, oh, I love them. You got really excited about them.
Yeah, they're just absolutely everything you need. Everybody who's used Faber Castell will know that there's pit pens as well. So we recognise this look, but the tips on them are out of this world. With the bullet end and the brush end, oh, it's so beautiful. It's strong enough. Oh, I can't tell you. I'll have to show you later. I just have to show you because actions speak louder than words. I could talk till I'm blue in the face, but until you see how they look, how they perform, how easy they make your life drawing and painting, oh, it's beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
And look how they're packaged.
And look at the saving as well, £30. I mean, yeah,
wow.
The packaging is beautiful. It's not a tin, it's actually, it's just a beautiful box. Look at the embossing. I mean, you know it's quality. And then when you open it up. Now, we are getting this water brush in here.
Yeah, and when I was researching, because you do have to research, I know it's like research a brush, really, but you do. And when I like to know as much as I can, and when you open it, it's got a beautiful tip. It's long, it's thin, it's got a good water valve there, but they actually manufactured it so that it's got a sharp point. And the sharp point is for making marks on your watercolour paper or your marker paper, because when you make a mark in wet paper, it makes a dint and the colour forms into it. So even that.
Yeah, that's the attention to detail as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, mad in a good way, but you know what I mean? It's like every part of the pen that makes sense.
It does, doesn't it? It does make sense. Now, if you want yours, of course, we were going to be seeing lots of different techniques from our not only this hour, but of course throughout the 24 hours. But if you want yours, because 10% of the stock has already gone, so if you want yours, make sure to check out your baskets. Remember that saving of £30, it means that, get it. Of course, we have got 2 interest-free payments option. £25 could be your price if you FlexiBuy. You know what I'm thinking? Adding this and the set of 36 in one basket, FlexiBuy that, because obviously there is FlexiBuy, which means that you will get both of them for the price of one of them, and then you have got the same amount next month. So then you can get both the markers and the pencils and just pay half today. 669791 is your item number. Now, what was the box of, which I forgot already how many there were there. But if you want a bigger box, we have got, that was 16. This one is almost twice as many, because in here you are getting 30 of them. It has a massive saving of £50.
Wow.
That is a phenomenal saving, but for phenomenal pens, aren't they?
Well, these are the pens.
Markers, there are.
And, markers. These are the markers that, when you use them, you will know exactly what I mean, that it feels better, it feels right, but the quality and the way it performs makes you feel good about your artwork. And to me, this is why we bring you these things, because we want you to think, yeah, that's art quality, but I'm using it in my craft. And I'm using it in my scrapbook page, and I'm using it in my diary, in my journal. Why not? no, it doesn't mean to say that this is just art stuff. It's not. It's for you. It's for me. It's for anybody. Anybody who wants to be creative.
Absolutely.
I'm really passionate about people forgetting about it being art, and let's all be creative. And this is how to do it. I'm very passionate about things better.
You know, you said something there that is very important. You know your budget. If you are thinking, oh, well, my budget doesn't stretch as much as this, consider FlexiBuy. So consider, especially this one has got 3 interest-free payments of £36.66. Also, very interestingly, once you open that, you could put the set of 36 pencils as well, and then FlexiBuy it into 3. But going back to the budget, I always think that consider your budget, but try to make sure that you get the best your money can afford. And having, like you're saying, you know, artist quality is going to deliver better results. There's no two ways about it. I absolutely adore the fact that investing into quality is going to deliver quality results. And you know, for a long time, I have been using pencils and paints that maybe were, you know, not artist quality. The jump that my satisfaction with my results have created by investing into the right products is phenomenal. And ultimately, you craft and paint for your own enjoyment. Now, 10% of the stock has gone. So if you want a set of 30, remember that FlexiBuy, there's 3 interest-free payments as well. 486166 is your item number. And then if you want it, remember there is 3 different interest-free payments. Now, maybe what you want to add to that flexi basket is, of course, the paper pads that they are designed to work with those markers. Now, those ones, we have got them in different sizes. We have got 2 different sizes. The first one, the A3, is 70 GSM. It is designed for the markers. So can you tell us a little bit so how does it feel, this paper then? Super smooth or?
Yeah, this paper is really, really designed with the art markers in thought, because you use the wrong paper. One, it usually pens your pigment up in your pens. And it bleeds, it can warp, it can buckle. So you want this to bleed, but then to stop. Well, I don't want it to bleed, I want it to be absorbent, but then I want it to stop. So that's what they thought about. It's a finer paper, and it's got a very smooth finish, and it goes right the way through and then stops, but it doesn't spread that way. It's actually, paper can be the one thing that spoils our work, not getting it right, or card. So having the right paper for the right thing, it's just a win-win. And yeah, okay, you've got paper at home, but I bet it's not like that.
Well, and also I always think that paper that is designed to work with a certain product is always going to be manufactured to Faber Castell's, you know, quality and standards. By the way, what it means by gummed is that it's binded at the top, so you can take it out, but they are not loose pieces of paper basically to you. So you get it. $11.99 is your price, brand new today. 915-982 is your item number. Now you may prefer smaller sizes. We have got a set of a twin pack of A4. It's the same quality paper. You are getting 50 sheets in each, so 100 in total. £13.99 is your price. 838-730 is your item number for that. So the same quality, the same product, but of course then you have got both possibilities. Now you will find them on the website at thecraftstore.com alongside all the different bundles. Now we are here at the craft store. We understand that we all have got different budgets, so therefore maybe you want to experience the joy of the watercolor pencils by Faber Castell, but in a smaller, maybe 12 set. There are those ones on the website. Or maybe you want to go for the wallet of 20 watercolor markers. Those ones are on the website, so make sure to check out the thecraftstore.com. or use your app, of course, you can find on the website or on the app store. Now you have got also the wallet of 5 of them, so if you want to go for those ones, there is those ones available as well. And then we have got the PET metallic gold and silver blister pack there as well, and some of everybody's favorite black markers as well. The PET India.
Yeah, I always get it wrong.
We were talking about it, but you kind of forgot. Yeah. But of course, the pencils very popular, very busy. The set of 36.
Oh, I'm in love with these. I'm in love with them.
20% already gone.
I'm not surprised. Honestly, this is like a present to yourself. I am in love with these, and I've used quite a lot of pencils. Watercolour pencils are very different. They're a different, whole different sort of genre, but I am in love with these. I know if you use them with your stamps, I'll shut up.
Well,
I've got a second win now. I always do when I get something I love.
Now, Lou, we get the 10 of this beauty. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. How do we start? How would you recommend to start?
Well, if you think that this is a tube of paint, but it's in a pencil.
Yeah.
And the only thing is, a tube of paint is very intimidating because you think, what do we do with that? Or a pan of paint, or whatever, if you're a new beginner. So having it in a pencil form, you really understand how to use it already because you're used to a pencil. So the first thing you always should do is swatch your colours. When you've swatched your colours, you're able then to sort of look at the paper you're using. So what I've done is just to start to get going, I've stamped from the monthly mega deal, I've stamped this image, and I love this because I think it's just so beautiful to start with. I'm using the pencil and I'm going to go direct. This is called direct to paper. Right. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going, not really heavy, I'm just going to put a line around this. Now, the one thing I will say is it's best to work with all your colours dry and then mix wet. If you put them on top, you may get a line because what you're doing is it's being absorbed into the surface of the paper. So it behaves differently. So I've put that colour around there. It doesn't look much. I've put a red, but I want to brighten it up. So this is where these are absolutely stunning because now I can mix on top, and then when I get my wet paintbrush, it suddenly completely changes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the orange just into this, just to give it that
And
haze.
having the pencil, does it give you more control?
This is a really sturdy pencil. One, it's got this SV bonding, which is the interior pigment, but it's just beautiful to use. It's creamy, it's really easy to use. I'm not worried about it breaking. I have a lot of pencils that cost me a lot of money, and I'm worried about them breaking all the time. I've got this beautiful, and I'm just going to lift the colour out, and I'm hoping to show you. I'm just going to put water around it. I don't want to do any more than I want you to be able to do this at home. So the first thing is you lay down the water and let it sort of react with the pigment. Don't worry if you go over it, because you can actually get rid of this if it's on the right paper.
What paper are you using for the pencils?
I'm using the Fabriano, only to show you on this, because the markers, the paper for the markers is slightly different. But, you know, each to their own. You can use it on them. I've just used it. I'll show you it. So now I've let the colour bleed out a little bit. But now what I'm going to do, I always clean my brush in the water. I am just going to allow it out even more. Now, I'm going to create quite an arty look with no effort whatsoever. You can't argue with this name. You can't. You can't. I'd like to see somebody who says that these people don't know what they're doing. They do, and that's what they do, and they're doing it for 250 years, and it's blooming
and
brilliant.
were they the first ones to do the pencils as well? The artist quality, like, you know,
They were, and they changed it, and I think it's 9 generations now.
Wow.
And I can't remember which one it was, but one of them was a baron, and he said he's going to completely take over the world with pencils. And it just makes me laugh because he has. So I've got this halo round. He's completely done it. Now, what you can do, I was amazed at this. Right, there's nothing coming out there, is there?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, well, that's what the director cannot see anything. Maybe.
There.
Ah, there it is.
Can you see how even a tiny bit of pigment, that it doesn't look like it exists? No. Actually, now if we leave this to dry, we can then drop water into it and take stuff out. But let me show you what happens if you put another colour on there while it's still wet. It doesn't react the same way. So what you have to do is mix the two together dry, but you can do it, and I'll show you how to do that. And that's where the 3.8 lead comes in.
It comes in because it's a wider, thicker lead. And yeah, one of the questions we have had, and I think it's a very important question from Christine, she's asking what's the difference between these ones and polychromos, basically?
Oh, totally different. These are watercolour and they're an oil solvent base, so they're a wax based. They're like, it's like oil and water.
Yeah.
The two are very, very different. So you've got like Faber Castell, polychromos, those are a wax-based, slick surface, Indian ink goes on it, but these are watercolour, totally different.
Would you be, because personally, I love polychromos, I love wax or oil-based pencils, but I find that they are a little bit, I would say, sometimes, if you want to have quick results, like a lot of pigment straight away, I find watercolor pencils, especially the quality we are talking about with these ones, much easier, less pressure needed for that pigment to be explosion of color.
Absolutely, and you're so right there, because it's all about vibrancy of colour. Now, some you can see now where I drew on it, and it likes to be mixed dry. But you get a beautiful effect, because even the nib on this has been done to sort of work with that. But as I'm sort of mixing it on my little palette, now another little trick, I'm just going to bring this out. I've got tons of them yet. See how I'm working it out? If you want to go out and you're out and about, I did have a piece of paper. Oh, here it is. If you're out and about, and you want to take your colours.
I love this style. Yeah, I love this technique. Because you can do all the palette of all the colours, all 36.
All of them. Take them like that. If you're going to do en plan, like out in the open, and all you do, take that with you and just pick up your paint. And that's all you need to do. And then you've got your own soluble water. Now, you can mix it with gum arabic if you want to get an even more flow, but you really don't need to because it's got this binder in. But yeah, I can still keep getting this. And I'm creating layers. I'm trying to create atmosphere around this. So all I'm going to do is just create layers. Now, some watercolours don't like that because you can't see it very much. I do understand. But I'm just creating layers and I'm mixing it. Can you see how by mixing it this way, I'm not getting that harsh line, but there'll be times when I want that line. So this is a really good way, plus you're mixing it. Now forget the orange, which I used at the beginning. Here's my palette again. Yeah. And then a little bit of water on that. And it looks like you're hardly moving anything, but there's quite a lot there. Just mix that up.
There is.
And we're getting this flow. And what I can do is I can get, so let's go for a very dark colour. And I can load up the colour. Don't dip this in water, so please don't do that, because what this is made of...
is it cedar?
Yeah, it don't like it. Plus, can I just say, Faber Castell have a wonderful environmental friendly...
Oh, I love that.
They have their own designated sustainable forests.
Yeah.
Wow. They have different jungles and they run them.
Jungles?
Yeah.
You mean forests?
They really do. They have areas of the jungle that they maintain as foresters. Absolutely amazing. They have got, is it CO2 emissions are really low. They're one of the best in the world for CO2 emissions. They're really on the ball. So they're not just sort of good pencil makers. They're thinking about how they make their pencils and why they make them and the best way to make them, but not just forgetting about the environment, but bringing that on board. Go and have a look at them. They're really, they don't say a lot about it, but they spend millions on endangered species and creating areas for them to be safe. Yeah, also whilst getting the pencils made.
Of course, the 36, I mean, Lou is full of techniques and knowledge, so do make sure to stay tuned. But what better way to now check out your baskets, and then you can enjoy the rest of the shows knowing that whatever Lou does, you will be able to replicate it at home.
Yes.
One of the things I always insist, and I come from a background of fine artists. Both my dad and my late uncle are fine artists. Their work is in museums, in many museums all over the world. Very proud of both of them. And, you know, one of the things that my dad always insisted on, and so my uncle, is that the quality of the pigments. This is one of the things that he did, where like pigments are the most essential thing, obviously, because that is the color. And you can tell that the pigment that, you know, Faber Castell has chosen for their top of the range, the water pencils, Arbor, they're not going to give one of the most foremost renowned painters from Germany, Arbor, you know, the Renaissance painter, to, you know, the lower grade pencils. No, they are going to choose it for the best. And this is why we are talking about it. You have got in here 36 pencils in there. Now, there is so many of the different techniques you can do, but a quarter of the stock has already gone. We are not even halfway through the first hour of the show. Yeah, and a quarter of the stock. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I want them. First of all, I'm going to be very gentle, but here we have got...
I can't tell people how good they are. I really can't, because I feel like I'm selling and I don't want to do that. I'm sorry, but I don't want to do that. I really don't.
Well, you know, the thing is that, like, we all... Oh, I say it. I love quality. Lou, you love quality. You love art. You like color. Why not going for the watercolor pencils? Now, you may have, like maybe Christine, maybe you have had some polychromos in the past. They are workspace. They are completely different. They don't, these ones will be like an add-on. It's their separate techniques that you can do with them. If you are a newbie and you're thinking, I really want watercolor pencils, if you can spread the, well, we are giving you the chance to spread the cost into interest-free payments. If you can afford £25 today, that's what you are going to pay today. If you flexify it interest-free, next month you will pay the same amount. That saving of £28, I mean, the saving is bigger than the first flexify option. You are saving £28 whether you flexify it or not. I adore these pencils. I love the attention to detail. I love the fact that I'm going to take one of them out from this because for me, I'm taking one from the other tin, just because I just love to have the full range of colors. Why I will go for the 36, not only because you're getting more colors, but because then you are getting pinks. You are getting those beautiful blues as well. You're getting a teal and a turquoise as well. But let's look at the pencils themselves. Look at those beautiful colors coming in, but look at the pencils there. Look at that. I love the attention to detail. So straight away, you know that they are made in Germany. You know it's quality. Then you have got the water brush there. Immediately, you know you're not going to confuse them with your polychromos because you have got the water sign there. Then you have got the Alberdure, and then of course we have got Faber Castell. I love as well how you can see in here the quality because it is covered. That means that, of course, that means it's protected, the lid in there as well. And then you turn them over, and then you have got in here the name of the color, both in German and in English, and then you have got the number, and then you have got the light fastness, you know, kind of a star rating. That means that you are talking about the high end of pencils. You are talking as well about a range of pencils that if you have the polychromos, then you means that you can relate whichever colors you have got, but of course in watercolor. So maybe you know your color shades in polychromos, then you will know exactly the same shades in the beautiful watercolor markers. Now, if you want yours, I will be quick to check on my baskets. Why? Because you know, 30% of the stock. Now we are not even half an hour into the first hour, and already 30% of the stock has gone. I will grab mine. I will grab them because, of course, this is should last 24 hours, but it probably won't. And if you want quality, if you want great results, you need to start getting to the artist quality, and this is what they are. 970127 is your item number. Like you, Lou, I'm getting very passionate about these pencils.
They inspire you to do that, don't they? They just inspire that. I get really... I know it sounds daft, but I get really sort of emotional. That blob is from before.
You know, that's exactly, this is the thing, is we get emotional because, like you yourself, you have got an artist experience, you have been teaching, you know quality, you know that quality pigments deliver quality results.
I do, and I can't tell people how false it is to buy cheaper stuff, only because it's so disappointing when your artwork does nothing and it doesn't turn out. And if you haven't got them, I bought cheap, and do you know what? I've thrown them away because you get these and you're just like, wow. can I show you how they work on that paper that we've got here?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
So I've put some colour on this, and you know, I know it's very light for camera, but just to show you that you've got like wet into wet techniques. You could add some salt to the areas as well. I've darkened it. However, if you let this dry, you can then put another layer of colour on. Whilst it's dry, it won't create the marks. Let that dry, put your polychromos on the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And that means that you can layer as well. Now,
you've got a depth of colour with the three layers, 4 layers, 5 layers that you won't get with anything else that I've found yet. Perfect. So adding the two. So I know they might look similar, but they're not. I'm wondering whether the polychrome, I can't remember, the polychromos have a gold line on them.
Well, I think they do, but they are rounded. They are not octagonal. You know, correct me if I'm right.
Of course they are.
Because they tend to be, the wax ones tend to be rounded, and the water-based tend to be,
you know, when you think there's something different, there's something, and you can't put your finger on it, and you're like, what is it? What is it?
I was saying from my memory, because my father uses a lot of different, you know, pencils, different ones, and he has got polychromos, he has got overdurer as well, he has got,
I feel really good knowing that, because, see, a dad uses them.
Yeah, well,
that's really cool.
Yeah. Right, of course. Well, if you want yours, a third of the stock has gone. If you want yours, make sure to check out your baskets. Remember the flexi buy option as well there.
Right. Well, I've got the paper, and it is a finer paper for markers. You'll find that graphics and advertising, illustration, all that, they use different papers because we like to work through papers. When I'm designing, if I've got a paper, I want to be able to see parts of it and draw on it and add to it, and it's a way of layering up. But to add colour, we're going to use the markers in a bit. I just want to show you the 3.8 end of this allows you to lay down a lot of colour with less pressure. So let's see, that's a bit...
Yeah.
It's a bit wanting that. I'm just going to clean my brush so there's no colour on it. Give it a bit of water. Now let's see how much colour we've got.
Oh, look at that, the pigment in there.
Let me pull it out for you.
And that's the paper. That's the Faber Castell paper, which is a 70 GSM. So it's thin, but look, and you can see drippage.
Absolutely everything. Oh. Now, if I was to let that dry, fine. If I wanted more colour, what I could do is go straight to my pencil. I could add a lot of moisture to the end.
I will be. I was going to say not say anything, but I'm going to say it. I would never. I'm the sort of person that I never take the water to the pencil because I'm very like. If you do, we have to be very careful and do it only on the lead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't go onto the wooden
wood,
part.
right,
no.
Yeah.
Just to the end. It's only pigment because you don't want to wet the wood at all. I've seen people put them in water and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Don't do that. But what you can do is, which is. Technically, but I love the technique, is you put a little bit of water down like that, and then
you go. Yeah, because there is something like, is it, with these pencils, do they become permanent once that the water has dried a little bit?
No, they're still activated, but they're very strong. Now, I did that, I don't know if you noticed, by laying down the water and then applying just the edge of it. I'm not using the wood, and then now I can take this out with colour, with my finger, with anything.
Wow.
Look how...
But that's the paper as well.
Yeah,
that paper is fabulous.
It's slick.
And of course, it's Faber Castell paper. If you wanted details, you're going to put in the A4 option is going to come up there. There it is there. And of course, £13.99. Of course, you are getting 2 of the A4, so you're getting 100. And you are getting, if you want to go for the A3, bottom of the screen, £11.99 for those ones. And you're getting 50 of the A3. Right, now...
Should we go to markers?
The markers. Now, I'm saying that both... you know what I would do? You know that my birthday is on Christmas Day? I would put the set of 36. I mean, I don't say it enough. I never mention it. I would put the set of 36, and then I would put the watercolour markers.
I think so.
I would have Christmas present and birthday present.
I think it's got to be done. It's got to be done. You've got to have it like that.
Yeah,
because otherwise you'll get a rubbish present. You'll say, oh, it's both. No, I want separate.
Now, if you want the pencils, 40% of the stock has gone. Now we are past half an hour, but remember, this should last all 24 hours.
These are
first hour, 40% of the stock of the 36.
I love them.
You know, just check out those baskets. Now, markers, can you show us how to use them,
yeah,
please?
Sure. And the markers are wonderful. The fact that you've got them in sets of colours and tones and hues is amazing. Oh, we've got to go to teals. It's got to be done. Right, first of all, there's a real, I know this sounds daft, but there's a click.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
so important. You're not going to worry about the tips because they're well protected. You've got a little line there, which is great because what you can do is use that to scratching, although you might not want to. So here it says on the pen, it's really clear, Albert Drawer, watercolour, and it tells you the name, which is an artist colour name. It's not a random like peachy, purple, pink. It is a proper artist colour range. So you know that. You've got a bullet and a brush. Now the brush is really highly tuned for this, so otherwise it frays. So let's have a look. So I've just put some colour down. Oh, that's all right, but what will it do? Oh, yes. No water added yet.
Oh. And of course, if you don't have a water brush, we could use just any other brush, couldn't we? And a little bit of water.
Now you're adding more to it, and you're bringing it down.
Wow.
So, now, can you see what I did? I'll show you again. It's a really simple technique.
Wow.
I'm going to add the water, yeah? So just a little bit of water.
Love that. And that's the paper as well that you are using,
yeah,
of course.
and it does ruckle a little bit. Don't worry about that. If you put it lay it flat under a book, it's meant to do that. So I'm going to go back in with my pen. And as the water dries out of my pen, it gets thicker and straight back to colour. But I can, if I want, just drop little bits, and it reacts.
Yeah.
And if I want to, I'll get my very expensive kitchen roll and take it away.
Wow.
And it takes it completely away. Doesn't leave residue, it takes it away because it's made to do that.
Yeah.
So that is quite unique that I know of. The fact that it takes some away, I know Distress and Oxides all do it, but it doesn't take it all away like that. So what about mixing? Well, we'll get this here, we'll look at the colours. I'm going to use the brush. It's a very good brush because it's very good for watercolour and calligraphy. You've got the best of both worlds. So let's just see what we get with this. And then I'll stamp on it and make a picture. Because there's no point in me just saying, well, we can all make nice, pretty pictures. You want to be able to use it. You want to be able to say, right, OK, I'll make that into a wonderful background. And that's what you want. So I'm just going to add, I'm using the bigger brush so I can get a little bit of, and there's no marks on my paper whatsoever. I was expecting when I first used these, I would get really heavy marks, and there's not one mark, look. And it's just blended beautifully.
And the intensity of the payment with the markers, you know, you can see it from the screen. I mean, sometimes, you know, very busy for the set of 30. A quarter of the stock has gone as well for the set of 30. Remember, this one has got a 3 flexi-buy option. Now, if you want to just put it 2, I think you still can, technically speaking, but why would you? I would rarely recommend to use the set of 3 flexi-buys, because then I would put the set of 30, I would put definitely the pencils, the set of 36, while there is a stock, so check out your baskets, and then add 1 or 2 of the paper pads, so then you have got an amazing Christmas present. Maybe you are thinking about treating yourself, like I think we have had emails from
sorry.
Kim was saying treating herself for Christmas, as you know, with the markers or the pencils. Also, Jane has been also emailing. Jane is like, oh, top quality pencils. Yes, you know quality, don't you?
She does as well.
We have got, of course, a £50 saving in this bundle. £50 and those 3 interest-free payments. 486166 is your item number. Now, if you wanted, make sure to check out your baskets. Very busy for the set of 30 as well as the markers and the pencils.
I've just found out something else now.
Oh, isn't that a sign also of a good quality product? You know, that you can discover and discover new techniques.
Oh, it's so exciting and it's inspiring because it gives you new ideas. I didn't know you could mix wet and dry into wet and dry brush, and I've just gone absolutely thrown everything at this, and look at it. All the colours, there's no lines whatsoever. I am not getting marker lines, and by a marker line, I'm going to try and show you now. Let me show you this. I know it's a permanent pen, but when you lay down colour, you get this rough edge, and I know this won't work because it's not a marker, but you try and do that, and that remains and remains and remains, whereas these just go. They just disappear.
Now, I know you have talked about in the before that you can use them directly onto stamps. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, so let's get stamped. So we've got this one. We'll use this little one. It's beautiful. I'll use it, and then I'll go for the big one to show you. I've got, these are lovely stamps. I like these. And I've just got that one and that one. I'll take that one off because I did that one. That's more or less dry now, and I can see I can add more depth to it by I'll use my pens on the top of that. So I've got this one. I've got a really dodgy black ink pad that I use for, is this the one? Might be, yeah. That I use for like second generation inking, so I'm not using that. I keep using it and then realising it's that one. So we've got this. Oh, I've done it, haven't I? I'm gonna, when you get a new stamp like this, just clean it off, stamp with it, and then that way, when you put your watercolours on it, you've sort of sealed it and got rid of any residue. So that's the first thing. So what colours shall we have? Should we have blues?
Yeah.
Oh no, we had them before. Have greens. Right. So nice thing, always the light one first, and make sure that you've got as much of that permanent ink off as possible. But I don't know, but it gives it like a.
I kind of feel.
It gets rid of the tackiness of new stamps, doesn't it? Well, I found
the residue from manufacturing. Yeah.
So I'm just going to try for a ombre.
Yeah. Now, if you are thinking, I would love to try them, but I would want to go for a smaller bundle. Now, we have got a set of 16 markers, but then it comes in with a water brush that, of course, Lo is using. So that is a perfect gift set, maybe, with a saving of 30 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, I love that.
Wow. Oh, wow. Right, okay. That's 2.
Oh, somebody's thinking of you in a very nice way.
Oh.
That's when you in Mallorca, which is where I grew up. When when suddenly you become clumsy, and then it's like
nice
somebody's thinking of you.
Normally it'd be like you're just having a moment. But I've just got that on there, and I've inked 1, 2, 3, 4 all out of them. Can I try something, please?
Of course you can.
I've got this really wet background, and I really think it looks like a sky. So I'm going to try that technique and see what happens. Because I'll be honest with you, I've not tried it yet. If you do get any fur on your brushes, and I mean that just on the edges, what happens is you might have a little loose fibres. Don't worry, it's not bad. It's just the newness of everything. So I've got a lot more darker colour on this, and I have sprayed it. So let's see what this looks like. Wet onto wet stamp. I'm wondering what it reacts like because I've not done this yet. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh, I love.
Oh, you've got a proper watercolour mat. You won't be able to see it now because it's quite wet, but when it dries, you'll get all the little detail of this coming into it. Just here.
Oh.
I'm happy. Right,
maybe if you hold it to camera 1, which is then we can see it.
You can just see them bleeding. It's a little bit hard to see.
If you hold, there we. Oh, Joe is getting a good shot there.
You can just see they are bleeding slightly, but that's what you want, like a residue. Yeah. And then when it is bone dry, you can add it in like just a pure colour like this, because it'll give you like a ghost effect.
Yeah,
it's because the water's underneath and the water's on the top. So what I'm going to try is, we'll try it on the drier one. This is a dry hit. Wow. That feels
it's already
so
dry.
strange.
Yeah.
It's very dry and very, anyway. Right, so I'm just going to clean the residue water off, and I'm going to put the colour of this on here. I'm going to use a wider end only because it's easier and I'm a bit lazy. But I like this idea of matching backgrounds, colours and your stamp, because that is where most of us are with stamps, aren't we? We've got hundreds of them. so we need to use them. So this is on a dry and a damp part. Let's see. Oh,
look
yes. And this is where I left it and dropped it off.
Right. Look.
Can you see how it works? Can you see how that one, wet into wet, it's dissipated a little bit, but if you leave it to dry,
Yeah.
look at the detail you get with that.
That's just
stunning, isn't it?
Gorgeous. I love that. I like how you, and then of course you are using clear stamps, so you can choose exactly where you are stamping as well, right?
And the fact is with this is this. I just love the way this bleeds, because what I would do is overstamp it. I know it looks a bit dodgy now, but if you can imagine that's a background, like a lino print stamp. I just think these are stunning. I'm very impressed with the fact that I'm not getting any lines. I am so impressed with that, because to me, that means everything. I'm not getting any lines. Let's see. This is a difficult thing to do, this. We're putting another colour. Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that. Love that.
And it's not, the paper, it might be buckling slightly, but you can straighten it. It's not pilling.
Yeah.
Look at the colour. It's just smooth, easy. These pens are outstanding. These pens have blown me away. I really wasn't ready for this. I was ready to say, yeah, they're great. I really was. I wasn't ready to be like this. I thought, right, they're going to be nice. I know they are. I didn't know they were going to be this nice. Seriously, this nice.
Well, that's the thing. When you invest in quality, you're thinking, I know they are going to be water-based markers. There's all these techniques I can do. The fact that they are Faber Castell's artist quality markers, it means that they have been designed to have the most concentration of color. They have those nibs that are absolutely beautiful. You have got 2 nibs in there, so you have got the finer detail.
Oh, wow.
And of course, you do also have the broader one as well. This one is the gift set. This one you are getting 16 markers, plus you are getting the water brush included as well, hence the 17 piece in there. You have got this beautiful box as well. It's a perfect present. If you want to give me a present for Christmas, this could be it. I'm just saying. And of course, you have got also a £30 saving. This is when, you know, when we do shows like this, well, Leonie and I, we always say it's like, oh, you have got show and me. I mean, not that she has it, because she is going to do it at 8 p.m. So she will be well pleased that she's doing this show. But this is the sort of thing that we love. It's color, quality, and that gives you the result. 30% of the gift box or set with the 17 pieces in there, 16 markers and the water brush. You remember, you have got £30 saving. Wow. You can also flexify, which means if you flexify into 2 interest-free payments, you're only paying £25 today, which is way lower than the saving that you have got across it. 669791 is your item number for that one. Now, if you want to go for the biggest set, now this is perfect for you. You have got here a set of 30 watercolor markers. Now, in this one, you also have got the set, you know, you have got the saving, which is even bigger, £50 saving. And on top of that, you have got those interest-free payments that are not just 2, but 3 payments, which means that opens a basket of 3 interest-free payments. You are thinking about those pencils, those set of 36, add them to this basket, and you are not going to pay half of it, you're going to pay a third of, because that's how it works, a flexi-buy. You pay a third this month, and of course the next one and the next one. So ready for Christmas, it will be dispatched straight away. You don't have to wait for that, but of course stretching the payments means that you're not paying any extra, but you are kind of making it a little bit easier to budget for. 486166 is your item number. Now, then we have as well for you, we have got sets of 5. So if you wanted to go for sets of 5, you will find them on the website. So we have got the gray tones available. Now, you may want to, the reason why we would want a gray tones, well, let's ask the expert. Lou, yep. Why would you want a set of grey markers?
Well, you might be like doing specific artwork, so you might be monochromes, and the grey is an amazing shadow effect on all of it. So if you think that you've got all these pencils and markers and you get a grey set, the grey set, one, calms all colours down, it knocks it back, but it also creates a depth of colour. So you're adding how many different colours to your arsenal then. It's such a beautiful colour, and we very underestimate it now, but I'm glad to see people are just saying that, oh yeah, I don't have to do my own shading, I'll use the pens. And
absolutely.
I love those colours. I absolutely love those colours.
Now, of course, if you want yours, £19.99 with a saving of £5, 563,179. Now, there are different options as well for other sets of 5. You will find them on the website, thecraftstore.com, but you definitely want to add some of this amazing paper. Now, we have got the A3 option, but we also have got the very popular set of A4. Now, the A3, £11.99, you are getting 50 sheets in there, or you can go for the set of 4 A4s, which is a twin pack, 50 sheets in each, so that we are getting 100 in total. They are paper pads that they are gummed at the tops, which means that you can take them away as well, and that's 70 GSM, so it's nice and thin, which means that if you have been mesmerized by loose techniques, you can replicate it now at home. 838730 is your item number. Now we have got also artist pens as well, so if you want those ones, you can see them here. Gorgeous pen artist pens with the black and metallic gold and silver blister pack in there. £16.24 is your price. You're saving £3 there. 823792 is your item number. A quarter of the stock has gone, and we have only mentioned them briefly, so make sure to check out your baskets. Very busy for the Faber Castell. Now, you know, sometimes it's great when you really kind of fall in love with something, and then everybody does, because it kind of really indicates that kind of, this is what we love here at the craft store. You appreciating quality and color and pigments, and you are going for the set of 36. Believe, what's the stock up? Half the stock now has gone. Remember, check out your basket. You have got a £28 saving. You also have a flexi buy option. Spread the cost into 2 interest-free payments. So of course that means that you would only pay £25 today. Treat yourself for Christmas, maybe. I mean, also the other thing with beautiful pencils is, like, again, looking back to my dad, but also one of our supervisors, managers, Christine, she got her beautiful set of pencils when she was studying at university. She still got them. It's an investment for years to come. Oh yeah.
It's not something that you're going to have to buy. Although I will say there are certain colours, and the great thing is that the colours are available single, because they will used a lot. But I just wanted to show you, right, it's sort of, I can't explain how versatile it is. I've put some pen around the edge of this just to give it a bit of warmth, and I'm really not being nice to it at all. Look at that, it's rubbish. But I am so happy.
Oh, look at that.
It just blends out. But look at the pigment. What happens though if I want to bring in pencil? Will it work on top?
Oh, and that's the thing. They both mix and match perfectly. There is no right or wrong, is there?
No, absolutely not. And each time, each time you're finding new things about it and new ways of doing it. And look at those cut right. Normally purple and yellow, that makes a really awful colour. We've got it sitting on top and creating a layer. So that's quite hard to do. It is quite hard to do. But you need to let one layer dry to the other. So that for me is a win-win. The fact that I can pick up my pens and I can actually say, right, okay, I'm going to go with a little bit more green. I want it darker. So I'm going to go with my fine tip, not the big one. The big one, but the very fine tip, because it's pointed, and I'm just going to bring that colour out. And I can do it again and just make that bit darker there. I'm hoping that you're getting this, because it just sits there and moves around. And that is both of them. So let's see, I've got the green there. I'm going to go for the green in this. Is it the same? Oh, yes, of course it is. Look
at that, the intensity. And I love that you're not putting too much pressure, are you?
No, but if you want to blend with them the traditional way, you can. So, shall we just try a little blend? That make it easier? I'll get the paper that we use. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
blend?
Yeah, we have got 4 minutes left.
Oh, brilliant. Great.
Yeah.
Right, I want to use the right
give a
paper.
reminder, everybody, to check out your baskets, especially the 36 watercolor pencils. Also very, very busy for the metallic pit markers with the gold and the gold and the silver, because that 40% of the stock has gone. So you are getting the black and the metallic. £16 and 24 pence is your price. You're saving £3 there. Make sure to check out your basket, please, for that one.
So I'm going to put this here. I'll put a yellow. I know it's going to be green, but we'll just see how the colours transfer. So let's start this here. All right, so I've laid down the colour, and laid down the colour means that you've laid down a bed of colour. So we've got yellow and we've got the green. Now, one's going to completely take the other over and sit. Well, we'll see. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I love that. And that,
how good is that?
And look at the intensity of
I've
the colour.
not done anything clever there.
No.
Nothing clever. That you see, I can do it with any colour, and I can do it with the markers.
Yeah.
And that is done.
It's done.
I don't need to do anything. If I want to drop some water in, I could still do that and take it away. But that, all the work's done. All the work's done. I think it might still be a bit wet, but no. Now that background's done. I can do it on a gel plate. Wait till you see it on a gel.
But would you use the pencils onto a gel plate?
Yeah,
Oh, no,
you
no,
can
no.
use the pencils.
Ah.
You can use it. If you put water on, it's so clever. Put water on your gel plate first.
It wouldn't scratch it because then it dissolves before it scratches.
And you'd be surprised, even just scratching it a little bit, as long don't go into your gel plate, obviously. It leaves a pigment residue that it's invisible to us mainly, but the water comes on it and it activates it. But you put a small layer of water, you know, like you're supposed to spray your perfume, that I don't. Get it all over everywhere like that. And just slick you, and then lay down the pencil as I've shown you. Not writing, drawing shaded. That way, you're not going to get any scratchy marks, and you'll have a better colour.
I love that. Now, if you want yours, well, you know what to do. Check out your basket. There is the one-day special. Of course, it's a set of 24. If your budget is £34 or just £35, this is perfect because it sits perfectly on your budget. We are talking about beautiful watercolor pencils, artist quality. Faber Castell has chosen the name of Albrecht Dürer. I call it always Albert, but it's actually Albrecht Dürer. For this, I just don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, but you have got the quality there. However, most of you are like me. You want more. You want more of the pencils. You want more colors, but you want exactly that amazing artist quality. Approaching 60% of the stock has gone.
You won't be upset about this. You won't be upset about this once you get in.
And remember, there is not an expiry date on pencils here. £49 and 99 pence. You are saving £28. Approaching 60% of the stock. Grab yours because it is something that you will enjoy for years to come. Now, come in beautiful, of course, in the 10. Now, the set of 30 of the watercolor markers also very, very busy for that one. Over 30% of the stock. And remember, these stock levels are at 24 hours, kind of stock levels. So it is incredibly busy. So make sure to check out your baskets. Thank you, Lou. You will be back at 8 o'clock on card. At 8 p.m. with Leone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do check out your baskets. I'll see you tomorrow. I think